AM 970, The Answer. Triple 971 SAGE 888-971-7243. You know what that number means? The great Elder Steve back on the case. Larry Elder, Sage from South Central, the Prince of Pico Union, the Czar of Common Sense, the great Elder Steve, Don Lorenzo, and the black face of white supremacy. Now, watch the convention last night. Governor Tim Walz spoke, also former President Barack Obama. We're going to have you some excerpts from both those speeches, but a few observations. This convention is in Chicago, not too far from where Barack Obama used to live. He, by the way, talked about how millionaires, billionaires, Oprah Winfrey talked about billionaires. And yesterday we talked about how Michelle Obama said that her mom says she's very, very suspicious of people who had more than they need, who took more than they need, which is really, really rich. Barack Obama has a spread in Martha's Vineyard. I think it's around $12 million he paid for it. He has a spread in Hawaii, paid around $8 or $9 million for that. Has a mansion 2 miles from the White House. He paid about $8 million for that. I'm sure that Michelle Obama's mom was extremely suspicious about all the property that her son-in-law and daughter bought, because after all, they took more than they need.
I mean, I do think at a certain point he's made enough money.
When you have a net worth between $200 and $300 million, is that enough money? Now, Tim Walz said that when he served as governor, got right to work making a difference. Cut taxes for the middle class. Walz number 4, please.
Then I came back to serve as governor, and we got right to work making a difference in our neighbors' lives. We cut taxes for the middle class.
Okay, can you stop right there? We cut taxes for the middle class. We don't give a rip about anybody other than the middle class, not the lower classes, not the upper classes. Contrast that with what Jack Kennedy proposed when he was president in 1963, number 17.
The worst deficit comes from a recession. And if we can take the proper action in the proper time, this can be the most important step we could take to prevent another recession. That is the right kind of a tax cut, both for your family budget and the national budget, resulting from a permanent basic reform and reduction in our rate structure, a creative tax cut, creating more jobs and income, and eventually more revenue. And the right time for that kind of bill now appears in the absence of an economic crisis today, and if the job is to be done in a responsible way, is January 1963. Such a bill will be presented to the Congress for action next year. It will include an across-the-board, top-to-bottom cut in both corporate and personal income taxes.
Okay. Did you hear him say across the board? Top to bottom? So everybody's taxes were to be cut. I think it was 1962 that he proposed that. What happened to that? Rich people pay a disproportionately high percentage of the taxes that we talked about before. The top 1%, which means people making around $350K or more, and federal income taxes pay about 46% of all the federal income taxes. I kid you not. But they don't deserve a tax cut because, after all, they're rich, even though most rich people did not marry it, did not inherit it, did not win it in the lottery, did not find it under a cabbage patch, did not steal it.
Yeah, this camera does no justice for this.
But they don't deserve a tax cut.
Let's put it further around, man.
The way the Democrats of today look at it.
Yeah,
the way Jack Kennedy looked at it is that everybody should get a break. But
no
that was then. He probably would be a Republican now. Also, watching these people, they all talked about their own struggle and how they overcame, and yet Donald Trump is a racist. Donald Trump is a sexist. Donald Trump is a misogynist. And if Donald Trump gets his way, you won't be able to make it. Back in
Look at what a real
1964,
close-up right there.
Martin Luther King was
See,
interviewed
that
by
does
British
it
television.
better, but
Here's what he said. Number 15.
Robert Kennedy, when he was Attorney General, said that he could imagine the possibility of a Negro president of the United States within perhaps 40 years.
but that's better.
How realistic?
Well, let me say first that I think,
Yeah, I think that's
it
better
was
right there.
necessary to make it clear that there are Negroes who are presently qualified to be president of the United States. There are many who are qualified in terms of integrity, in terms of vision, in terms of leadership ability. But we do know that there are certain problems and prejudices and mores in our society which make it difficult now. However, I am very optimistic about the future. Frankly, I have seen certain changes in the United States over the last 2 years that surprised me. I've seen levels of compliance with the Civil Rights Bill and changes that have been most surprising. So on the basis of this, I think we may
Most
be able to
definitely.
get a Negro president in less than 40 years. I would think that this could come in
Most
25
definitely.
years or less.
So from that time, it was literally almost 40 years from the time of that interview to the presidency of Barack Obama. Now, the reason I'm playing that is to contrast that with the kind of crap that we heard last night. Martin Luther King in 1964 didn't say, in about 40 years' time, there could be black Fortune 500 CEOs, and there have been several. He didn't say in about 40 years' time there could be a black president of the American Bar Association, and there have been, I think, 2. He didn't say in about 40 years' time there could be a black president of the American Medical Association. I think there have been 2. He didn't say in 40 years' time there'd be a black president of the oldest university in the country, Harvard, and there has been. He didn't say in about 40 years' time the coach of the most storied college football franchise would be black, Notre Dame, and there has been. He didn't say that in about 40 years' time there would be governors of states of the Confederacy, like Virginia, the seat of the Confederacy. There was a governor, black. He didn't say there'd be a black governor of a state like Maryland, a slave state, and there is currently. He didn't say there'd be black mayors of the major cities of America, and as we speak right now, there's a black mayor of New York, a black mayor of Chicago, a black mayor of Los Angeles. He said, president. Why? Because once you become the most powerful person on the face of the earth, and you are black in a majority white country, it suggests that maybe, just maybe, people are evaluating you based on content of character, not color of skin. Well, we have had a black president. He was elected in 2008 and re-elected in 2012, even though he governed over the worst recovery since the Second World War. It's the only time we ever had a recovery where we didn't have at least 3% GDP growth in a calendar year. And he still got re-elected. So everything else is anticlimactic after that. If you are listening to me and you are black or you are brown, I ask you, what more do you need to see in order for you to realize that this is the fairest, most free country there ever has been? It's the least racist majority white country on the face of the earth. What more do you need to see? And this business about black female president, did you really care if Condoleezza Rice was running? Would you feel the same way because she had an R at the end of her name? We've had females run for president. Carly Fiorina ran, did you give a damn? Michelle Bachmann ran, did you care? I mentioned yesterday Kay Bailey Hutchinson, the former Republican senator from Texas, was referred to as a female impersonator by Gloria Steinem, probably the nation's most prominent feminist. So it's all phony. It's about your left-wing agenda. Tax, spend, regulate, convince a certain group of people that you are oppressed. And these other people over here, well, they are the oppressors. Every victim needs a victimizer. You are victims, and these guys over here represented by the dastardly racist Donald Trump, and the people who vote for him, well, they are victimizers. It's pretty disgusting. Now, what do South Side people living in Chicago think about former President Barack Obama? I have that for you. We come back. Also, later in the program, C.J. Pearson, a young man who became a candidate for office, worked for Prager University, will be a guest. And Donald, the researcher, has done a lot of research on crime and on guns. All of that and more. 888-971 SAGE 888-971-7243. Larry Elder.
I want to know. Who's going to tell him that the job he's currently seeking might just be one of those black jobs?
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 40-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost you about $100 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-TERM-LIFE. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you
Big
even
Lou.
if you have type 2 diabetes.
I guess Big Lou. Oh, that looks better right there. See that angle? You can see everything now. It's not so bright. You got to put in a certain angle and you can see.
Term Life. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-TERM-LIFE. That's 800-TERM-LIFE. From the Kendrick Brothers, the creators of War Room.
It's hard for a woman to call out the man as her son. I just need some prayer support. We pray that the Lord will open Isaiah's eyes so that he could see himself the way that the Lord sees him.
What kind of man do you want to be? Isaiah. The Forge. The Forge. In theaters now. Rated PG. Parental guidance accepted. See us at showtimes at theforgemovie.com. The new documentary, Beneath Sheep's Clothing, exposes the dark truth.
Marxism-Leninism ideology is being pumped into the soft heads of American students.
There's a communist infiltration of America's schools, churches, and media.
Here's the thing about communism. When it comes knocking at your door, it doesn't say, "Hi, I'm here to impoverish, enslave, and murder you." It says, "I'm here to liberate you from oppression."
We'll take America without firing a shot. Beneath Sheep's Clothing. Available now. Watch it today. Go to salemnow.com. Hi, folks. It's Arthur Aidala of the Power Hour every night here on AM 970 at 6 p.m. We try to bring you a lot of fun, a lot of energy, with a lot of facts, a lot of inside scoop from the courtroom and from the streets of the city of New York with our special guests and our regular co-hosts, Sambolino, Joni, Alex, and whoever happens to be walking around the office. Tune in weeknights at 6 p.m. Craving that signature Sunday sauce? Michael's of Brooklyn will make your place a must. Join Michael's of Brooklyn Sauce of the Month Club. Receive a different jar of Michael's of Brooklyn pasta sauce, homemade pasta and biscotti each month for 6 months. Make your home the place to be with Michael's of Brooklyn signature fresh marinara right in your home. Visit michaelsofbrooklyn.com and order online. That's michaelsofbrooklyn.com. Michael's of Brooklyn, serving the community since 1964. As a local business owner, you get called every week by marketing companies. We get it.
I'll leave it
We have
like that.
hundreds of satisfied customers. Here's what
Give
a
it that
satisfied
glow.
client recently said. Open enrollment is going great. We're hitting record numbers. Thank you so much for this report. It really is amazing to see how the marketing is really shaping our enrollment around the city. If you're a local business and ready for the next step, Google Salem Surround New York right now. Our experts are ready to help you take your marketing to the next level. Google Salem Surround New York today.
The latest surveys show people who listen to American Ground Radio with Louis R. Avalone and Stephen Parr, they get 48% higher gas mileage than the average American. You could use a few extra gallons, couldn't you? You're someone special when you listen to American Ground Radio, where freedom grows. Listen each Saturday at 5 p.m. to American Ground Radio here on AM 970, The Answer.
Listen to AM 970 The Answer on Alexa, TuneIn, iHeart, or Odyssey.com.
Call the Larry Elder Show now at 888-971-SAGE. That's 888-971-7243. Eldorado's Let Larry Know What's on Your Mind.
888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. I am Larry Elder. Attention, Patriots. The 2024 Battleground Talkers Tour is coming this October, and this time it's Democracy Under Attack. The stakes have never been higher. Our freedoms, our values, our very way of life are on the line. The left wants to rewrite history, silence your voice, and push America over the edge, but we won't let them. Join the fight. Join me along with some of the biggest conservative voices in the nation as we break down the most pivotal election of our lifetime. The Battleground Talkers Tour is coming to key cities across the nation this October. Visit battlegroundtour.com. That's battlegroundtour.com for details and to get your tickets today. Don't just stand by, stand up. Get your tickets now to the Battleground Talkers Tour, because this November it's all or nothing. The battle for America is on. Will you be there? Visit battlegroundtour.com. That's battlegroundtour.com to get your tickets. The number is 888-971-7243, 888-971-SAGE. Want to get your comments about last night, where the governor of Minnesota, Kamala Harris's running mate, spoke, as did the former president, Bill Clinton. Now, one of the things that Obama said the other day, last night, is that he criticized Republicans for having what he called was a cult of personality.
At a time when the other party had turned into a cult of personality.
Now, I'm old enough to remember when Obama ran, 2007, 2008. You couldn't walk into a bookstore without seeing a bunch of magazine covers with his face on it. I remember going to the airport in a magazine bookstore. Every third magazine cover had this man on the cover. And there was an elementary school, 2009, on Black History Month. They sang a little ditty about President Barack Obama. Number 18, please.
When the other party had turned into a cult of personality.
Barack Hussein Obama. Equal work for equal pay. You know, it's already illegal to pay somebody differently for the same job. It's called the Equal Pay Act, and John Kennedy signed it into law in the 60s. John F. Kennedy. Equal work for equal pay. Some of Obama's neighbors on the south side of Chicago, not all that happy with Mr. Obama and pretty happy with Mr. Trump, number 13.
I vote for Trump. I go for Donald Trump. Me too. I go for Trump.
Who are you voting for in 2024?
Trump too.
Why is that, man?
He's the best president ever.
Has Barack Obama done anything for around here? And
He never did anything since he been in office. Yeah. And I'm glad he out. Huh? Okay.
Barack Obama? I ain't got no message there. I don't mess with Barack Obama.
Yeah.
No, I'm a Trump supporter. Trump do more for black people and care more about black people. And Barack Obama ain't black. Just to let that be known.
Right. What about Kamala Harris?
I don't either. Trump all day.
Yeah. What's your message to Donald Trump today?
Keep going, keep going. Come get us, man. We waiting on you. I'm a Trump supporter, man. We gonna keep this going. Trump, he a real businessman. I'm a real Republican, man. I want Trump back in office second term.
What would be your message to Barack Obama?
Pump some money in here. Pump some money like Trump, you know?
Your message to Donald Trump?
Come on, man. Get us to the Super Bowl, bro. Make America great, man. That's all I can say. Make America great.
Everyone's so friendly right here.
Yeah,
Everyone's so friendly right here. I need a chain game. Like this. Here we go. Watch. Here we go. What's up, my
Who
guy?
we need up in there? Who we finna let drop a bag in the hood? Who we want to get the bag?
Hey,
y'all know we gonna need Trump in that joint. Y'all know we gonna need Trump in that joint. Y'all gotta see what's going on, man. Yeah, I'm taking over Benny Show, man. It's Odie, man. I'm a YouTuber, man. Y'all get at me, man. Everything Trump over on this side of town. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you. We can go everywhere. You see how dry this motherfucker is? We need Trump, boy. Whatever it's gonna do to make this flow back, man, get it up. Let's get it going immediately, man. Benny, who you going for, Benny?
My president is making America great again. Donald Trump.
I'm going for too. We got to say that. That's what I'm talking about, man. I need to job with you, man.
I love Chicago.
It's my long lost twin, man. Second bird and first, man.
Better tattoos, better style, better hair.
We both good looking though, man. That's all that counts, man.
Better teeth. And a better ride. All right.
Never have I seen more black faces of white supremacy in one spot. Maybe someday they'll develop a vaccine. That was in Chicago, South Side. Now, obviously, not 100% of the people there were for Barack Obama. Don't know why. President Trump, best economy ever for blacks, did the First Step Act that allowed people with non-violent lengthy sentences to have their sentences reconsidered. And by the time he left office, about 4,000 black prisoners had their sentences reduced an average of 70 months. He expanded so-called opportunity zones, reducing taxes and regulations in so-called distressed areas. He put funding for historically black colleges on a permanent basis for over 10 years. He supported school choice. We talked about the large number of kids in Chicago that can neither read nor do math at grade level. He secured the borders. We talked about the fact that the people most hurt by illegal aliens are blacks living in the inner city with high school or less education. Now, he was horrible for black people. Oh, my goodness. If this man is racist, he needs to go back to racism school for a refresher course because obviously it hasn't taken. 888-971-SHGE, 888-971-7243. I am the great Eldersky.
You're listening to The Larry Elder Show. Dennis Prager here. Join me on an unforgettable cruise to the Caribbean this November. We'll cruise to the vibrant islands of Half Moon Cay, Curacao, Bonaire, Turks and Caicos, and much more.
It's a fixed cost. So with rising costs of vacation travel, at least you know your cost is fixed, and you can take your family for years to the same great place where you trade weeks.
No more 900 CHML is gone. I guess I'm, but should I pick up something here? Surprised I haven't picked up anything really right here. Wow. I'm gonna have to hook it up with the MFJ T86 loop. Maybe I can pick up something. And then this one.
Hey, just
1.5 sacks of Atlanta for that last wild card spot. So these are going to be big games because the Padres are playing really, really well. Trying to put together an encore for this complete game against Miami. Meanwhile, Dylan Cease, who's been sensational. Remember the Mets got him though back in June. 13th temperature is 74 degrees. Sponsored by Peerless Brothers and Pavilion Campus Water Meters. Go to PeerlessBrothers.com for a dealer near you. Clear skies. Congresswoman Gabby Gifford.
Former Arizona.
And hi.
Concourse, and I'm seeing pockets of heavy delays to the Bronx River Parkway, and once you get past that, it breaks up nicely. Police activity Broadway and West 149th Street in Manhattan, and our river crossings are looking okay. We got some police activity, Queenstown, Whitestone, not really causing an issue though. Other East River crossings are checking out okay. As we hop over to Hudson, the outbound Georgia about 20 minutes, 15 or less coming inbound. Both of the Hudson tubes are moving well. The upper deck of the Verrazano is going to be closed down starting in about a half an hour or so. That's when they have it scheduled. And some New Jersey Transit notes to pass along. The Morris and Essex line and the Gladstone Branch rail service is subject to 30-minute delays in both directions, all because of power interruption issues near Maplewood. Traffic and transit every 10 minutes on ones and breaking traffic alerts whenever they happen. I'm Susan Browning, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Howdy, acting with the 4-day forecast, meteorologist John Ferret. The taste of autumn continues tonight across the tri-state area. Mostly clear sky. We're down to 63 in Midtown. Most suburbs will be down into the 50s once again. And sunshine and a few clouds for tomorrow. Nice finish to the work week. We're up near 80 with low humidity. Mostly clear tomorrow night, down to 66. A gorgeous weekend for any outdoor plans you might have. Mostly sunny Saturday, the high 83. A little bit more humid Sunday, partly sunny at the 85. And partly sunny, warm and humid Monday. That looks like our next chance to see a thunderstorm. Highs up into the mid-80s. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist John Ferret on New York's weather station. 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM. Keep it here on 1010 Wins. We will be carrying Kamala Harris's address live tonight from the DNC in Chicago.
Is getting vaccinated on your to-do list? We can help you check that. Here to answer these things and to have definitions that matter.
Subscribe today for free on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Rumble, or at SalemPodcastNetwork.com. The Arthur Aidala Power Hour. Weeknights at 6 on AM 970. The Answer. Wake up with Joe Piscopo at 6. Ride home with John Cassimatidis at 5 on AM 970. The Answer.
Setting fire to the airways. It's the Larry Elder Show.
888-971 SAGE 888-971-7243. Did I say 43? I think I did say 43. Rock the same old mom. Equal work for equal pay. Did you know there's nearly $1 trillion of infrastructure and pandemic funds yet to be spent? That's right, there is a massive amount of money that the lame duck administration is pushing hard to spend in their last few months. If the president is able to push these funds out, we could see another prolonged inflation surge, just like during COVID. And I'm sure you remember the terrible effects that high prices had on most Americans. But there is hope. A surge in prices can be beaten. A gold IRA from Birch Gold Group is the ultimate inflation hedge for your savings in uncertain times. To see how to protect your IRA or 401k, get your free info kit on gold by texting the word ELDER to 989898. Birch Gold makes it seamless to roll over your retirement account while preserving your tax advantage status. Don't wait for the president's spending spree to tank the dollar further. Protect your financial future now. Text ELDER to the number 989898 for your free info kit from Birch Gold. That's ELDER to 989898. Dr. Tony is in San Diego. Dr. Tony, you're on the Larry Elder Show.
Hi, Larry. So glad you're back on the radio again. I missed you. You weren't on
on the radio anymore. But hey, listen, I just wanted to comment really quick because I know we don't have a lot of time. But I just want to comment. I caught little clips of the DNC over the last few days, and I did watch a little bit of what Obama said and what Michelle said and what Wall said. And I'm thinking to myself, pants on fire. Pants on fire, pants on fire. I think, oh my God. But the other thing too, and I'm sure you noticed it because I know you're very observant, is when the cameras spanned across the audience, Larry, these people look like they're in La La Land. And I don't know if you noticed that. Oh my God. And the other thought that kind of drifted through my head, when you see the people marching in China, Xi Jinping, all his soldiers,
Yeah.
that's all I could see. Is like, oh my God, this is what's going to come to this country if these people win.
Same kind of expression. Thank you very much for the call. Here's the deal. They, on the one hand, talk about how wonderful the country is, and on the other hand, tell you how oppressed you are. Now, I'm old school. 2008, I had the LA Times and the New York Times thrown to my house. It took me a while to begin to get my news off the internet. I like to touch it, look at it, feel it. And so I bent down to pick up the newspapers. And on the front pages of the LA Times and the New York Times were all these pictures of black parents crying, holding their little kids. And to a person, they said something like, now, I can tell my son, now I can tell my daughter that you can grow up and be whatever you want to be and truly mean it. Meaning before when they said it, they had their fingers crossed. They didn't really believe it. And I said to myself, what would these parents have said had Obama lost? Many of you know my mom because I had her on my program for years every Friday. Those of you who are new to the program, unfortunately, never got to meet her. But I was under 7 because I know it was at our first house. And my mother sat me on the front porch with a illustrated book of all the presidents from George Washington to the then incumbent Dwight Eisenhower. Talked about all their achievements. And we got to the last one, to Eisenhower, and I'm going to close the book. She looked at me and she said, Larry, someday, if you want it, you could be in this book. Now, I was not interested in politics, at least in political office. I was never interested in running for office. Ultimately, I did run for president. Obviously, I didn't get very far, but I did run. And my point is, this is in the 50s, late 50s. And when my mom said, if you want it bad enough and work hard enough for it, you could realize this. That's how I felt. That's how I've always grown up. And today, in 2024, you have to tell somebody, look at this person who happens to be a person of color. Then maybe you can do that. Are you kidding me?
Exactly.
What is this all about?
Exactly.
How many times does something have to happen? How many black
crying
presidents
about
at Harvard?
it.
I went to Brown.
They had a president
There was a
elected
black
twice.
female president of Brown some years ago.
They're still crying.
How many things have to happen for you to go,
Bullshit.
you know what, maybe I can become an architect. Maybe I can become a lawyer. Maybe I can become a
They're trying to
doctor.
catapult this fucking cackle.
Maybe I could get mugged on my way getting a tuna fish foot long from Subways by a couple of mega hat wearing Trump guys.
Confident.
Maybe that'll happen to me too. I mean,
Clown.
Really?
That's what she is, a clown.
Meanwhile, the average family of 4, $1,200 a month for the same goods and services as they bought 3.5 years ago. We're paying 50% more for gas prices. Isn't that far more concerning to you than having a female president? Isn't that more concerning to you than having a president who's got a South Asian background? Really?
Yeah. Right.
888-971-SAGE. I am Larry Elder. Call in now and join the conversation.
This shit really fucking matters.
888-971-SAGE.
Well, it matters to a few dummies.
888-971-7243.
People vote on looks. Fucking dummies.
A special announcement from Fox Business host Charles Payne. Investing today can be a time of turmoil and a time of opportunity, depending on how you choose to invest.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You're watching the Danny Show. 35 minutes in the books. And yeah, hit like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be posting lives like this. We can talk about anything. Fireside chat, or in this case, waterfall chat. And we can talk about anything. Of course, tonight she's going to do her, Kamala Harris is going to do her, accept the nomination for the from the DNC to run for president against Donald J. Trump. Of course, she did not get one single vote on the primary. Of course, they forced Joe Biden to step down. They probably threatened him and said that, listen, old man, if you don't step down, we're going to make your life a living hell. We're not going to pardon your son and eventually you, because he's, I'm sure, something will come up later on in the. Remember what happens, people, when they went after Trump, or with all that lawfare shit. Remember, what comes around goes around, fuckers. And yeah, comes around goes around. So of course, in his case, Obama never liked him. Obama always thought he was a fucking idiot. And he turned out to be a fucking idiot, or Biden. And they threw him under the bus and said, okay, now you need to get the fuck away from us. Because he couldn't even he was coherent in that one and only debate with Trump. And he looked like a fucking ass. So he looked like the gaslighter in chief, the so-called uniter in chief, the most divisive president since Obama. So, and Trump just whooped his ass in that debate. And they had to get rid of him. They said, oh, we're definitely not going to win with this fucking feeble old fuck. So now they brought in, cackles, or cackling, excuse me, dimwit. And they're trying to make it into the Joan of Arc. They went, and now the media's trying to make it to the Joan of Arc. It's funny, it's ridiculous. But that's what's going on. So of course she's gonna accept the nomination without a single vote in the primary. So all those 14 million people that voted for Biden during the primary, you know what they just did to you? They said, fuck you, your vote don't count. We're just gonna put her we're gonna put in place of Biden. That's it. That's it. That's what they're doing. So all you people out there that Kamala this and that, or the people that actually voted for Biden, they just screwed you. So, but it's not gonna matter because Trump is gonna whip her ass. Trump is gonna whip her ass. Especially that next debate that's coming up, he's gonna whoop that ass. All this talk about she's a prosecutor, she's a fucking dimwit. That's what she is, a fucking dimwit. Okay? The only reason why she became an assistant DA and eventually the DA, because she was fucking with the mayor of San Francisco. That's it. Okay? To say it like it is, she's fucking Willie Brown. Okay? That's how she got her start. She fucked her way into that fucking, position. Okay? And she's a dimwit. And some people are going to vote for her because she's a woman. and she's African American, which she's not. She's not African American. Her father's Jamaican, and her mother's Hindu, Indian. Okay, and you got those dummies. They're gonna vote for her because she's a Hindu. Oh. You're gonna see those dummies. Because I trust me, I seen a few of them around my in-laws, bunch of dummies. She's Indian. Hare Krishna. Okay. So, like I said, she's gonna do her acceptance speech, excuse me. And I'm not gonna listen to it, but I'm gonna hear the next day tomorrow. What was her policies? She has no policies. It's already been like 3 weeks. She hasn't announced any policies other than we got the same old fucking bullshit. We gotta protect women's rights. Women's rights were never in danger. That's a fucking bullshit lie. That's a lie. Okay? That's just a lie. But that's what they do. They just gaslight. That's what Democrats do. They just gaslight everything they hear. Like the fucking bloodbath shit. That shit was. He said about the auto industry, it was going to be a bloodbath. But of course, they turn around and try to make that shit into like, if he doesn't get elected again, it's going to be a civil war, which is a fucking lie. But that's what they do. They gaslight every fucking thing, that he says or what, whatever. They just, especially this Biden, he did it a couple of nights ago. Even though they put him on at 11:30 at night, total disrespect to him anyway, because they want to shove him out the fucking door. So they 11 o'clock at night, he finally did his speech. Talk about disrespect. This stupid old man. How can I do it? He told me he's smart. He was like one of the dumbest. We had some stupid presidents. I thought Carter was the worst in my lifetime. But he has to be the dumbest president I ever fucking been around in my lifetime. Was the fucking current occupant we have right now. He is really the most dumbest fucking guy ever elected. And by the way, that's still disputed that he was elected. To me, I think he was stolen, but that's a whole nother fucking story. And hello, James Farley. I hope you're doing well. And let me put it back on the radio. I want to hear Larry Elder. Of course, Larry Elder is back on the radio. Of course, he ran for governor of California a couple of years ago. And he actually ran for president. And of course, hopefully, I don't know. I think I'd rather see him on the radio. I like Larry Elder. He's a very smart man. And he happens to be African American.
Female supremacy. And what I'm hearing in that room is women are entitled. They've been oppressed for years and years and years. And let's vote for.
So James Farley, this is 970 The Answer. I listen to this also, especially Larry Elder. He's one of the few people that I actually listen on 970 The Answer. And I'm glad he's back on the air.
All right, Doug. Thank you very much for calling. I appreciate it. Let's go to Rob. Rob is in Ventura, California. Rob, I'm sorry, Bob, you're in Ventura, California. I think there's probably a Rob in Ventura too, but he didn't call me. Bob did.
I don't want to put no radio to it. How's the audio on the radio?
Yeah. Well, this is Bob or Rob, whatever you want to call me. I call you the greatest, man.
Thank you.
You're gold. You just improved. Your value increases. I really missed you. I'm glad you're back. So look, we're doing all these polls, and we're polling the wrong people. We have to consider the hundreds of thousands of immigrants that were fast-tracked to citizenship over the last 3 years. I'll leave it up to you to decide how many were here legally or illegally. But who's getting to them? It's not suburban people. It's these people who feel indebted to the Democrats who are going to swing these votes by thousands of votes one way or another in these states.
Yeah,
Nobody's talking about these people.
Yeah, no question about it. There is a a union leader named Eliseo Medina. We played that before. Mr. McConnell, let's try and cue that up during the break. Where in 2009, after Obama got elected, he gave a speech. He's very candid about it. And he said, that number that they keep saying, 11 million illegal aliens. If we can get 2 out of 3 to vote for us, we put them on a pathway to citizenship. If we get 2 out of 3 to vote for us, we can have a governing coalition, progressive governing coalition for the low
In the last election, had the largest turnout of Latino voters in our history. And everything tells us these voters fully intend to become engaged into the election in the future. They have tasted what it is like to participate and win, and they are not going to go away. When they voted in November, they voted overwhelmingly for progressive candidates. Everyone who expect this electorate to win. The progressive community needs to solidly be on the side of them. That will solidify and expand the progressive coalitions for the future. We reformed the immigration law. It was 12 million people on the path to citizenship and eventually voters. Can you imagine if we have even the same ratio, 2 out of 3, if we have 80 million new voters that care about our issues and will be voting, we will create a governing coalition for the long term.
It's right there. If we can put these millions of illegal aliens on the pathway to citizenship, if we can get 2 out of 3 to vote for us, we'll have 8 million more voters and have a governing coalition for the long haul. That's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah,
to change the
we all know their plan.
Yesterday, they have not won the white vote since 1964. 888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. Democrats were asked, what's your favorite Kamala Harris policy?
Crickets. Crickets.
Imagine you're relaxing on the sky deck of a beautiful yacht.
All right, let me lower that down for a minute. Yep, exactly. What's her policy? She has none. Cheers. Because you're wondering, Bud Light Lime is in the house. Thursday night here, relaxing. I was doing yard work all day today. Oh my God. I had to rip down the vine that was on the fence. And guess what happened again? My U-loop almost got damaged again. So I'm done with the U-loop. I'm going to take it down anyway. I'm going to take down the U-loop. It's pretty much damaged already. So I try to fix it. Ivy got on it again, and I was removing it, and I could tell that one of the connectors was already getting loose again. So I'm done with that U-loop. I'm going to take that down. I'm going to put it MLA30 on that side. Because, of course, MLA30, I'm going to use a stock wire. It's actually more stronger than that flimsy coax that the U-loop has. Or maybe put the MFJ there with the aluminum. Aluminium, excuse me, for all you people out there in Europe or in the UK. I'm sorry, UK and Australia. Aluminium. Yeah.
50 years later, Kamala Harris comes back and says we need wage and price control. I don't know about that.
The Hugh Hewitt Show, weekday mornings at 3, right before Joe Piscopo at 6 on AM 970. The Answer.
Listen to us online at am970theanswer.com. Tune in, iHeart, Alexa, or Odyssey.com.
Now back to the stage. Larry Elder.
Sage. The Sage from South Central.
I am Larry Elder. What is this obsession with the KKK? Years ago, they were sued into oblivion. They had to file for bankruptcy. They're not even relevant anymore. What is this? I would say that the group that's doing far more damage to this country is BLM than KKK. Larry said BLM is just like the KKK. I didn't say that. I said they're doing damage to the country. when on your website, as was the case until they took it down because people like moi saw it and complained, they attacked the nuclear intact family. They said it was just kind of an artificial device. It was founded by trained Marxists. That is how they describe themselves. It's not Larry Elder describing himself that way. They call themselves trained Marxists. Marx was an atheist, an anti-Semite, and a communist. So he opposed capitalism, obviously not a fan of Judeo-Christian values, and anti-family. What allowed black people to continue moving forward after slavery in the face of horrific racism and Jim Crow and KKK is because of a strong belief in family. It was rare for a black kid to be raised without a father in the home. Rare. In some instances, it was more rare than white households.
Now it's the norm.
Years ago. And of course, a strong foundation of Judeo-Christian values, a belief in entrepreneurship,
you got mommy and mommy, or
and a belief in American values,
mommy
even
and
as those
56
values are not being
genders
applied fairly to black people.
raising
Everything that allowed
kids.
black people to move forward. I mentioned before,
Forget about the fathers.
1940, 87% of blacks lived below
Fathers,
the
they
poverty
just take
line.
them to court to pay that child support.
20 years later, 1960, that number had fallen to 47%. That's a 40-point drop in 20 years.
And that's all they good for now. Pay that child support.
Economic growth in history for black Americans. Belief in family, rare for a black kid to be brought into the world, not a father in the home. Belief in entrepreneurship, belief in Judeo-Christian values, and a belief in American values, all of which are under attack by Black Lives Matter, whose whole argument is that black people remain oppressed and the police are engaging in systemic racism, even though study after study after study has shown is completely false.
This man
as I will
speaks
discuss
facts.
later on today with Heather McDonald.
I love this guy. This guy speaks
And
facts.
furthermore, causing what's called the Ferguson effect, or the George Floyd effect, the phenomenon of cops pulling back from the normal proactive policing. So you're finding, in many cases, crime up, but you know what's down? Arrests. 888-971-SHG. I am Larry Elder. Do not leave town.
Call the Larry Elder Show now at 888-971-SAGE. That's 888-971-7244.
Yeah, Larry Elder, man. He speaks. This man spits facts. That's why when they had the first Republican debate, even though he had no chance of winning, of course, because, you know, but it would have been nice to see him in a debate. Just because, you know, especially, you know, Nikki Haley and all that, he would have put them to, he would have shamed them. Because, you know, the man speaks facts. When he ran for governor of California, I'm surprised he didn't get elected. But, you know, that's how you know the system is rigged. This man is so much common sense. That's the problem with this country. People with common sense don't get elected. You know, it's rare that a person with common sense get elected. You know, it's just a money machine. You know, when they talk about this dummy that's about to make the, you know, nomination speech, that she raised over $200 million in I don't know how many days was it, whatever the fuck it was. You know, a lot of that shit was already money that was already there that they were gonna give to Biden, but then after that last debate, the Trump, you know, fucking mopped the floor with you know, kicked his ass. That money was already held up, and they were forcing the DNC. Listen, I'm not gonna put no more money in this party unless you get rid of this stupid old man. Find a way to get rid of his ass and put anybody there. Anybody that can talk without fumbling or, you know, whatever. Because a guy, you know, he's a He lies like nobody's business, Biden. And half of the shit he can't remember. So they said, just put anybody in there, even if it's this dumb bitch. Sorry. Just put this dumb bitch. And we're going to have to fucking rat it out with her. We'll do a fucking, media campaign. We'll try to wipe out all her internet history because they taking down videos of her like nobody's business and all that shit. And they're gonna paint this fucking dummy like they're gonna prop her up like she's the fucking Joan of Arc. And that's what they're doing. So of course this DNC thing, this convention, she's gonna get a little bump on the polls and all that shit. But I'm telling you, wait a few days, wait about a week, right before the next debate, and we'll see her numbers after that. We'll see her numbers. And then especially after the debate, let's see the numbers after that. Because, of course, I don't trust these fucking polls. Because they said the same shit about Hillary back in 2016. That she was going to win big. She was going to win by a landslide. They already had her on a fucking pedestal. Like, she was going to break the glass ceiling. And even when she was going to do her acceptance speech, it was, I forgot, was it the Javits Center? They have an area where they have actually the glass ceiling to symbolize that she was going to break the glass ceiling. And that shit fucking failed. And everybody in the world said that he was not going to win. That he had no chance of winning. Of course, he proved everybody wrong. And that fucking witch of Hillary, and that fucking, thank God she never became president. I'm so fucking happy. If there's anything, if he never wins, if he doesn't win in November, you know what? I don't want to say, I don't say I don't give a shit. I do give a shit. But at least he prevented her from not winning in 2016. And I will always be thankful for that. That fucking witch never fucking won in 2016.
Javelins and counter-drone and counter-electronic warfare systems.
And there you go. Nothing but the truth here in the Danny Show. 57 minutes into the live stream. Basically in the books. Of course, like I say it. And thank you for watching. Smash the like button. Smash it. Smash it. Go smash it right now. Don't be afraid. Hit the like button. And share it. Share the live stream. I don't care. Put it on Twitter. X. Share it on Facebook. Share the shit out of it. More people need to watch this channel because I'm going to say the truth here. I'm going to say it like it is. I'm going to show you like it is. So keep watching.
Some Florida public schools are apparently shutting their doors for good. We hear more on the story from correspondent Donald.
You're not going to get this in the mainstream media. That's for sure.
Malika Hopkins teaches the 4th grade at Greenville Elementary School in Greenville, Florida, in the state's rural panhandle. There are just 8 students enrolled in Hopkins' class, fewer than 100 in the entire school. Greenville Elementary is one of 3 of the district's standalone elementary schools that's closing because of declining enrollment. Thousands of students have left Florida public schools in recent years because of an explosion in school choice. Hopkins says something has to be done to keep the community growing.
We want to move into a community that doesn't have a school that's close by, 15 miles away.
I'm Donna Warder.
More on these stories available at townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters reporting.
Donald Trump's indictment proves that saving America is not going to be easy. There are entrenched powers that are fighting this with everything they've got. They want to keep control over the country, the narrative, and the nation's money supply. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnau. I'm a news analyst, a Christian author, and evangelical leader. I speak to millions of people every week, people just like you. You see, what the elites are doing is using inflation and government handouts and now central bank digital currencies to determine how they're going to control America. And that's why I recommend all Christians start a gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. Because physical precious metals are one of the few ways you can maintain control over your own savings. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word FAITH to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and you'll see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached. Text the word FAITH to 989898 and you're going to be blessed by taking action right now.
This hour of programming is pre-recorded. It's Sebastian Gorka on AM 970. The Answer.
Oh, I forgot to
Take a look at what happened.
let me see. Oh yeah. Okay, well that's done. Oh, they don't show they don't broadcast the second hour here. Yeah, I forgot about that. 970 The Answer. Larry Elder, normally it's a 3-hour show. Or 2-hour show if I remember. I think it's a 2-hour show. When he was doing it was a 2-hour show. It was at least 2 hours. It might be a 3-hour show back then. But normally they don't broadcast one of the hours, one of the last hours. Usually you have to go to his website for that. So I guess here at 970, since he came back, they don't broadcast. They only broadcast. Well, he went out for a while. Yeah. Yeah, 1 hour right now, I guess. So I like Sebastian Gorka. He's okay too. I like him.
Some question about whether or not it's a bullet.
Okay, let me go to
his ear, so it's conceivable. As I
let's tune the bands. So let's tune the band. Of course, this is hooked up to the NFET. What I did is I bought 75 feet of LMR 240. So I have that hooked up to the NFET. So what I do is I disconnect the one that's going to the second floor and I just put that one for now. I've been using this antenna for the last few days. I've been doing FT8 on 10 meters. And 10 meters surprisingly has been okay. I've gotten, let me see, last 2 days, well, 3 days now. I got in almost 40 contacts. 30, no, not 40, excuse me. I don't want to take that back because I did some DMR. I'm going to say about 35, 36 contacts. You know, I not have it on all day, but, you know, a couple hours here, a couple hours there. And yeah, I got quite a few contacts on it because now with this radio on 10 meters FT8, I pump it up to 100 watts. So the only issue with this antenna is I noticed this antenna is not as resonant. This is a 64 to 1 Onan, which is, you know, and I pay like about $39. I forgot, $40 with the taxes on Amazon, but it's not the 49 to 1 Onan that I had, the original one. To me, that was the best antenna that I had on this radio. Was the 49 to 1 Onan. That one was the most resonant antenna. That one I was heard in Europe. I was heard in Japan. I was heard in this antenna, the 64 to 1 balance. I'm heard a lot in the United States. I'm heard a lot in South America. I got heard in New Zealand, Australia, and that's it. Nothing in Europe at all. I don't know because of propagation, but it's weird that I have not heard, you know, I have not gotten reports on PSK reported in Europe. Unless there's something wrong with the PSK reporters reporting in Europe, it's weird. It's weird. Even receiving signals from Europe, I only gotten a couple of them on FT8. A lot of it is like I don't know, like all suddenly the 64 to 1 Onan is deaf going east. In other words, to Europe. But going west, I can hear, you know, coast to coast on it. That's weird. I don't know what's going on with that. I may have to get another onion. Maybe I'll go back to a 49-1 onion and try that. Because to me, that was the best antenna I have, was the original NFET. The 49-1 onion. To me, that was the most resin. Even the 1-to-1 Balun with the extra wire did okay too. It did okay. But I don't want to run an extra wire anymore. I really want to go back to the 49-1. I think the 49-1 with the power that I have now, instead of the 20 watts on the Zygo G90, now I'm gonna have 100 watts with the Yaesu. I think it'll be, man, a lot more contacts, even at 10 meters. Of course, I'm working toward my general, and hopefully sooner than later. And before I do my general, I will do some live streams on Danny Shortwave, and we'll go over some questions and answers. I'll probably do a few practice tests live to see how much I improved, and then we can do it together. And of course, also which I didn't know when I made that CBS video about CBS going off the air in terms of I did not know that CHML went off the air. I was like, wow. So 900 CHML, they just went off the air all of a sudden, which is sad because that was a great station. CHML 900. Let me see what's on 900 now. Now it's dead. I don't get nothing on 900. Let me see what's on 900 right now. CHML. So let's see, there's nothing there now. And it's quite sad, actually. CHML, I saw the video and all that. They were around for 97 years. So they almost 100 years. And one day they just decided to go off the air. And this is the nature of the AM broadcast band, or medium wave as we know it in the rest of the world. I think more and more stations are going to go under sooner than later. We're going to lose CBS 880 excuse me, in the next few days. We're going to lose that. I might do a special live on Danny Shortwave for the CBS one. I may do it. I don't know yet. I'm thinking about it now. To be honest, I haven't had much of a break lately because some local issues here, especially with the missus. So it may not be Labor. It may not be after Labor Day. I may just come back for the CBS thing in a couple of days. I'll do a live stream on that. I'm thinking about maybe doing members only, and then after that release it to. But I don't know yet. I know Jill said he's gonna do video on it. I know a bunch of people are gonna do video on it on the last day or the last hour or whatever of CBS 880, WCBS 880. I know they had a special on tonight, I think. They had a special on tonight about it. I saw Tasso posted a video. I didn't watch it. I just saw that he posted it. And I remember that they were going to have a special 1 hour, like basically, like a memory type of trip down memory lane about WCBS 880. Of course, I missed it. Anyway, I'll watch a few videos on it, but it is quite sad. But I'm not Totally surprised by it because we are getting this push on it. And of course, more people, when I say more people, I'm talking about, the left, you know, they want to see AM radio disappear because a lot of conservative talk shows are AM, they're on AM. Like Curtis Sliwa says, FM is feeble minded. And AM is the, well, we have a lot of talk shows. And even Jill says it that he doesn't like tuning to AM anymore. But I know Jules. He is kind of lefty. He is. But that's why that's who he is, and that's fine. I don't. The thing about our the thing about whether you're right or left or whatever, and yeah, there's some. I want to consider myself more of a moderate, but I'm more center right. I think the left is just fucking nuts, especially when you go all the way to the extreme left, like AOC. I think they're just fucking nuts. They're nuts. And, they all doing it for the wrong reasons. A lot of them is just because of power. They want power. They want the money. Even if whether you're a conservative or you're liberal, whatever. The bottom line is they all want fucking money, power. That's what makes the world go around. You know, just like nobody's watching this channel right now. Pretty much, I see nobody watching it. James Farley just say hello, and that's it. And that's fine. This channel is, whatever. My shortwave channel is the same thing. No matter how much content I post, I don't get no 200 people watching. I don't get none of that. Why? Because nobody gives a fuck about radio and all this shit. And it's a shame. It really is a shame. Because, I said I think on one of my live streams, I remember. Right now I'm at 840 videos uploaded there. I went over the 4,000 subscriber mark. Over 4,000 subs. My 3,000 milestone was back in March, and less than a year I got to the next milestone. I'm very happy about it. I'm very impressed by that, and I want to thank a couple of people for that. A couple of videos that I did, I really went and got a lot of subscriptions. But do I get 100 people watching in a live stream? No, I don't. I don't get 200. Meanwhile, I was on TikTok earlier today. I did a live stream on TikTok today. I only got a handful of people. Nothing. Now you got people that are, of course, I go through the TikTok stuff, the algorithm, I go through the whole shit. I still get a lot of, I'm gonna say tits and ass. I scroll through it. I see tits and ass on live stream. They got 200, 400, 500, 1,000 people watching at a live stream. Just because she's laying on her bed and she's wearing a robe and you can see her feet in the background. So people can only, it's porn. It's basically porn. That's what it is. TikTok is like gateway porn. Gateway. It's a gateway to porn. A lot of women you see there they have OnlyFans, Instagram. They have Instagram because that's what they do. They put the IG. They can't put the OnlyFans on TikTok, so they put the IG link on TikTok. I know because you know what I said what, I'm gonna check this out. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna bullshit you. I'll tell you because I'm curious to know how the fuck they make their money. So that's what happens. So they go on TikTok. Of course they're clothed or barely clothed. Like there was this one that I guess she does the elliptical, and she got a gut. She's not like it's not like she's slim. I guess she's trying to lose weight, but of course she wears this like sports bra, and she works out at home. But what she does is she teases them and she says, uh, if I get 2,000 likes, you're gonna see me work out. In other words, she's gonna bounce up and down. You know what I mean? They're gonna bounce up and down. So when as soon as she gets 2,000 likes, she's off the live stream. Now people got to run to her Instagram. Like she knows how to work these people, and I watch it because I just go through that. I watch it. I just sit there and giggle, and I said, "Damn, these fucking guys are thirsty." Because a lot of thirsty guys go in there. Oh my god, you're so beautiful. Oh my god, you're wifey material. Oh my god, you know what I mean? They'll fucking guys got no shame. They just fucking thirsty guys. I'm just gonna say it like it is here. They're thirsty as fuck. Of course, her ego's boosted up, and she just milking money out of them. And then she goes to Instagram, she posts a link and all that. She'll say, "Now, if you want to see the rest of me, you gotta go to OnlyFans." And then in OnlyFans, that's what everything is all hang out. Let it all hang out. So that's where it starts. So TikTok is like a gateway to porn. That's what it is. It's a gateway. So when you go on TikTok and you scroll and you see these women like just like in the kitchen mopping, and she got her underwear on, her whatever, or she got shorts going up the butt crack and all that. That's just gateway. That's a gateway. And then you go on her profile, you see the Instagram, or she'll tell you, go to my Instagram, and then from Instagram she can post the OnlyFans page, and then in OnlyFans you have to subscribe, and that's it. That's how they get you. Because by that time, most guys think they have a shot. That's another thing. Every guy in there thinks they got a shot at her. They're like, "Oh my god, what's up, baby? What's up? Hey, beautiful. Hey, whatever." You know what I mean? They throw all these fucking cheesy ass fucking lines. And of course, she's reeling them in. I just sit there and I laugh because, they're fucking thirsty. They think because she acknowledges them in the chat that they got a shot. You understand? And that's what it is. That's when I go on TikTok, and like I said, I did a live stream today. I got nobody. Only one amateur radio operator was engaging in the chat with me. He's a general. So when because I was doing FTA on 10 meters, and I was also talking on DMR. So he was like, we talked, and he was asking me about my setup and all that. And then, so he was the only one that was asking me in the chat. And I was on for like a little over an hour. And, but I never got no more than 5 or 6 people at one time on TikTok. Okay. So that goes to show you that the lowest common denominator is what dominates there. Or pets. If you have a Frenchie, French bulldog, or you have a cat, well, I don't even think cat videos blow up in TikTok. I think now it's more, you gotta have a dog, a Frenchie or something, and because they are adorable little dogs. Don't get me wrong, or pug, you showcase whatever. My thing is, I'm sorry, if you're using your pet as if you're using your pet to get views, it's cute and all. I get it. You love your pet. Listen. Who am I to judge that? I don't have a pet, and I have a good reason why I don't have a pet. Uh, my reason is I have a family. I have a wife and I have a son. And I even asked them, "Would you like a pet?" They both said no. No. I said, "Okay." If I feel the same way. You know what? To me, it's another expense. I'm sorry. I just don't need them in my life right now. Some people want a pet. They need a pet for whatever reason. It fills a void. I don't know, but doesn't for me. You know, that means I don't have to go outside and walk the dog, freezing rain, freezing snow, whatever. Or even when I'm, that's extra time I can be doing something else. And I gotta be walking the dog outside. Or you know what? I don't got time for that. I'm at the point in my life where my time is very limited. I know they're great companions, and I'm sure they are for some people, but not for me. They're not for me, and that's fine. So when I go on TikTok and I see all these people showing off their dog, and they try to humanize them, I to be honest, I find that sad when you try to humanize a pet, especially dogs. First of all, they're not human; they're dogs. So when you dress them up into outfits, it's kind of like I feel like there's something wrong with that person. And you try to dress them up and you call them your babies. And some people even write comments like, "I love them more than humans." That's fucking sad. I'm sorry, that's just sad. You're not gonna tell me otherwise. You know, I get it. You form a bond with the dog or the cat, especially if you adopted them or whatever as a kitten or puppy. There isn't a bond there. I get it because there were, I had other pets like hamsters and all that. I have pets like guinea pigs, and there is a bond. There is a bond. Don't get me wrong. There is a bond, but I'm not gonna dress my guinea pig in human clothing. I'm not. That's a problem. Some people really go over the top, and I don't understand that. I don't want to understand that. I don't want to understand that. I don't. Yeah, I know I'm gonna get some hate for that, and that's okay. Bring it on. Bring it on. But that's the way I feel. And that's TikTok. Might as well call it, or just, I'm sure maybe there is a chat, maybe there is a website out there. Just call it Doggy Tube, Doggy Tube. A lot of it is dogs. Cat videos were dominant in the beginning, but I think the dogs took over now, especially the Frenchie, and the pug. And from what I read, the Frenchie is actually one of those breeds that should have never been breeded. Because I believe a French bulldog is like a mix of several type of bulldog species, and in other words, they're breeded for just to stay small, to have bat-like ears, to somewhat be cute, but they have no value in anything else. Like the German Shepherd was that a shepherd, right? On the farm when you have all these lamb, they will help in the farm with the lamb. And then there's some other dogs that had other purposes. But now you're breeding dogs just, to be cute. And the problem with the Frenchie is that, from what I read, call me if I'm wrong, whatever, bring it on. I don't give a shit. Is that they're breeded to the point where they're not the most healthiest breed. They're always plagued with problems, health problems. And what I mean by that, I'm talking about health wise. They seem to have a lot of breathing problems because, of course, they're like a bulldog type. They also seem to have issues with back problems or something like that, like back problems. There's like an affliction that they get. I forgot what it's called. I don't want to misquote it. It's an issue with that. So it seems like this particular breed, they're just breed to look cute and to be on TikTok. That's it. But they serve no purpose in anything else. They're not going to be your guard dog. They're not going to be your anything. They're just breeded to be cute little fart machines. Because that's another thing. They tend to fart a lot compared to other dogs. And they snore like crazy. So last thing I need is, why would I want a crazy farting snoring machine next to me? Trying to sleep next to me. I don't understand the appeal of that. I don't. But they glorify on TikTok. And this is what it turned into. So, channels like mine, of course, when we talk about stuff, smart people, they're not gonna do well because 99% of the population is stupid. I'm gonna say it. I don't care. Bring it on. It's the truth. Lowest common denominator. So, when I get zero watching or one person watching, it doesn't matter. This will be played over the replay, and then maybe a couple of people will leave a comment and say, you know what you said was right. In the comment, they'll leave it and say, well, you know what you said is right, and maybe, well, I'm not even gonna say that because I don't want people to use my video and chop it up and no, I don't want that anyway. But who knows? Maybe it might go viral. But it's okay. I don't need it to go viral. Doesn't matter to me. So yeah, so no more CHML. Nothing there. And I think Zoomer Radio is next. I have a feeling Zoomer Radio is next because lately, I'll show you. Now, lately, Zoomer Radio, I don't know if it's just me, but lately, in the last few months, they haven't been that strong. Zoomer Radio, of course, used to come in very strong. 50,000 watts. It's going lately. I've been having issues with Zoomer Radio. So, just like CHML, I think Zoomer Radio might be on the chopping block soon. Because I have a feeling, because they haven't been as strong as they used to. So I don't know if they cut back on the power of Zoomer Radio, but now that CHML is off the air abruptly, don't be surprised if Zoomer Radio is next to go off the air. And like I said, there'll be more to follow. I know somebody asked me on the Danny Shortwave channel if KYW was going to go off the air soon. Now, I read, according to some sources, CBS 880 is not going to be the only station that's going to go off the air soon. I believe there's going to be a few more that are, some of them are going to switch over to ESPN. And I believe some of them might be like KYW. There's one in LA. I forgot what station that is. I forgot the call letters. So there's going to be a few that are going to switch. So this is just the beginning. CBS 880, it's a big one. That's a big one because it's in a major market. And I know ESPN is going to move over to 880. So what's going to happen to 1050? I know that they also marketed that one as ESPN Deportes. So if that's going to stay 1050, ESPN Deportes is going to be all Spanish, or is it gone? Is 1050 going to be gone? And 880 is going to be the sports station, but 1050 is going to be off the air. Because I know I know 98.7 is going to go bye-bye. They're going to go off the air. So eventually 98.7 is going to be replaced with something else on FM. I forgot what it was. I think they already talked about it. But what's going to happen with 1050? Is it going to stay? Is it going to be? It's already branded as ESPN Deportes also. So is it going to stay ESPN Deportes completely just Spanish, or is it going to go off the air? And I'm not sure about that one. I guess we'll know we'll know in a few more days. But I think 1050 is supposed to run until another, because they're gonna I think August 31st or something, or I think more than that. Because I know 98.7, their lease is gonna expire, but they're not gonna go off the air on the 26th. They're gonna go off the air, I think, on the 31st of this month, I believe. So anyway, so right now that's Zuma Radio. There's nothing there right now. Either it's reduced power or it's nothing there. Be right back. Wow, there's nothing there. Wow. Yeah, I think that's the next one that's gonna go.
Iranian networks in eastern Syria as a result of
County, which is in Nogales, which is a tough part. And here he is today talking about why he is in the border, because he says we have to take control of our country. And if you elect him, these are the substantive things that he believes in.
For nearly 4 years, as border czar, Comrade Kamala has overseen a nation-wrecking border invasion. This is nation-wrecking. This isn't just like, oh, we're going to fix it a little bit later. It's to a point where you can't fix it.
She's allowed at least 20 million people, all illegal aliens, into our country, including millions and millions of unvetted fighting age men from over 158 different countries. 150, most people didn't realize you had that many countries, right? Just recently, Kamala let in the head of a Peruvian gang who is wanted for 23 murders. Welcome.
All right, I think I'm going to sign off now. Went out for 1 hour and 35 minutes in the books. Yeah, I'm going to call it a night here in Yonkers, New York. This is the Danny Show, and I'll be back soon. And welcome to like and subscribe. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. And I'll be back on Danny Shortwave soon. Like I said, I don't know yet because I don't really care about the CBS thing. It's gonna happen. It's done. It's done. I don't want to sit there and you know, it's gonna happen. There's nothing you can do about it. And oh fucking well, life goes on. That's what I say. So thank you for watching. Have a good evening or have a good night. See you soon. Bye bye.